All right, it's 7 p.m. I want to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us again tonight for another teaching on weight loss. So, we're going to be talking about hormones and weight loss today. I'm Dr. Olubumi Balaji. We're going to be, looking at how balancing hormones can transform your health. And I am so thrilled that you are joining me today. Now, we're going to be talking about something that so many people struggle with, and that is hormones and weight loss. Have you ever felt like you're eating right, exercising, but the scale just won't move? Or worse, you're gaining weight for no clear reasons. Now, chances are your hormones are involved. Tonight, I want to help you understand how your hormones influence weight and how we assess hormonal balances and the medical and lifestyle treatment that truly work. But by the end, you'll see why balancing your hormones may be the missing key to lasting weight loss. All right, so we're gonna jump right in. Are hormones? Right? What are hormones? Now, hormones are your body's messengers, all right? So they are produced by glands in our bodies, like the pancreas, the adrenals, the thyroid, the ovaries, or in males, the testes. They travel through the bloodstream, telling your body how to eat, store, and burn energy. When hormones are balanced, you feel energetic, you sleep well, and you're able to maintain a healthy weight. When your hormones are out of balance, you may experience food cravings, fatigue, mood swings, and stubborn fat that just won't bulge. So, weight loss isn't only about calories like we talked about last week, it's about chemistry, your body's internal biochemistry. Now, we are going to be talking about the main hormones that influence weight. We're going to get deeper into the key players. Now, the number one bully is a bully, or we call it the player, number one player is insulin that is made by the pancreas. Its job is to move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells. And so when we eat frequently, especially refined carbs, insulin level remains high. It stays elevated. And when it's high, it tells your body to store fat and don't burn it. And so over time, this leads to what we call insulin resistance, a root cause of abdominal weight gain, which we call visceral fat, and fatigue. Now, in my practice, we assess insulin resistance using your fasting insulin level, your fasting glucose, and sometimes we calculate something called a HOMA-IR score, the homeostatic model assessment of your insulin resistance, which we measure uh, through your fasting glucose and your fasting insulin, and together we calculate the score. Now, a high score means your body is producing a lot of insulin to keep your sugar levels normal, which is a subtle sign of insulin resistance. So, even though your blood sugar may look okay on paper, which is why many of the doctors will tell their patients, oh, your labs look fine, but yet you can't lose weight. This is because insulin resistance starts years before diabetes manifests. The second hormone that we're going to be talking about is cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And this is produced by your adrenal glands. And the short bursts of cortisol, they are healthy, but when you are under constant stress, it could be emotional stress, physical stress, or even lack of sleep, then cortisol stays elevated, and this increases your blood sugar, your hunger, your belly fat. And so we can test for these through a blood test, a saliva test, or urine test. Often a morning cortisol level can give us an idea of your adrenal profile. The next is your thyroid hormones. They control metabolism, how fast your body burns energy. And so when your thyroid slows down, your metabolism slows down. And so you may feel tired, cold, constipated, and gain weight. These we can check through, your T3, your free T4, your TSH, free 3, 4, free T3. And sometimes we can check your thyroid antibodies as well to know if you have Hashimoto's. The next is your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone that we also check. In women, too much estrogen and low progesterone, what we call estrogen dominance, can cause bloating, PMS, and fat around the hip and thighs, which we see in some postmenopausal women. Now, in men and women, low testosterone will lead to fatigue, decreased muscle mass, and slower fat burn. And so when we test for these hormones on a specific cycle days for women or any morning for men to get an accurate picture. The next hormones that play a role are called leptin and ghrelin. And leptin tells your body and brain that you're full, while ghrelin tells your body that you're hungry. Now, when you're sleep deprived or eating ultra processed foods, leptin stops signaling properly. And so this is called leptin resistance. And so you feel hungry even when your body has enough fuel. Now, how can we assess these hormonal imbalances? At Primrose Wellness Incorporated, we start with a thorough evaluation. We take a detailed history. We look at what are the changes in weight and your energy levels. We look at your menstrual cycle, or if you're menopause, your menopausal symptoms. We evaluate your stress level, your sleep quality, and of course your dietary patterns, so, the things that you're eating. And then we perform typical, lab tests to try to understand what is going on. And this can include something called a comprehensive metabolic panel. We do your fasting insulin and glucose, and of course we do your hemoglobin A1C, which tells us if you have diabetes or not. We do your thyroid panel, which is your TSH, your free T4 and T3, and we can do your thyroid antibodies as well. We also can check your sex hormones. We can check your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, and your DHEAS as well. We can do your cortisol level, your morning cortisol. We can do a 4-point saliva test. We can also check your vitamin D level, your B12 level, and of course your inflammatory markers like your high sensitivity CRP. Sometimes we can also throw in some, metabolic and your gut hormone testing. These are not typical tests, but depending on how what our evaluation is telling us, so, we can combine, this lab test, and also we can do a body composition analysis, which will give us an idea of your muscle mass, your fat, and your visceral fat levels. And so that way, we're able to create for you a treatment plan to help restore your body. So now we're going to talk about how to rebalance your hormones and jumpstart weight loss. Now, number one thing is nutrition. We recommend a balanced metabolic nutrition plan. Low carbs, anti-inflammatory meals, lean proteins, healthy fats, fiber spacing meals to reduce insulin spikes. Which I will tell you about how to limit sugar, alcohol, and processed foods. Sometimes short periods of intermittent fasting, we can introduce under medical supervision to try and combat insulin resistance. We talk about stress management. We talk about cortisol playing a big role here. So we want to reduce your stress. We talk about how to, get a better sleep, deep breathing exercises, prayer, meditation, journaling, anything that you can do to help you relax. Okay. We can also consider some things called the adaptogenic supplements, like ashwagandha and rhodiola, evaporates to help, kind of reset your hormonal levels. Now, exercise is something that we always emphasize on. Strength training is something that you cannot, do without. to build muscle. So we talk about cardio as well. These will help to improve or resensitize your body, your insulin levels. We can also recommend, you know, we can recommend what do you call it, muscle building programs for you, like our EM Scope New that we have in our facility. We also talk about sleep. Having a good and restful sleep, which is very important. Poor sleep disrupts your leptin and ghrelin and cortisol balance. So definitely, we evaluate you for good sleep and we create a plan for that. We talk about hormonal support as well. So for some people who have low functioning thyroid, hypothyroidism, though we can recommend sub treatment for that. For people who have estrogen dominance or low testosterone, we can also recommend the bioidenticals to help them with that. For people who have problems with appetite control, appetite suppression, food noise, GLP-1 are an alternative. For insulin resistance, medications like metformin can help with that. And also, for patients who have gut health issues, we can recommend, detoxification protocols, to help with that. Of course, most importantly, hydration, eating your fiber, getting your cruciferous vegetables, probiotics, and gentle detoxification to support your gut may be things that we may recommend for you as well. And so, when we treat hormones, we're now just focusing on your waistline. All right. We're talking about restoring your balance, restoring your confidence, restoring your energy levels. Patients often say, I feel like myself again. And that's the goal. And not just to, lose weight, but to experience a total wellness, which is key. All right. So, if you have been struggling to lose weight despite doing everything right, please know it's not your fault. Your body may simply be out of hormonal balance. Again, like we talked about last week, your body may just be telling us a story. And so, here at Prime Rose Wellness Incorporated, we combine science, compassion, personalized care to help regain control of your health. If you are ready to take that step, I would encourage you to schedule a consultation with us so that we can help uncover how your body can thrive again. I want to thank you for tuning in again tonight. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more health talks from Primers Wellness. Together, we will help you live a well, balanced, and healthy life from inside out. Thank you so much, and God bless you. If you have any questions, I'd like you to put it in the chat. By the way, our number is we have our office is located in Comac, 6080 Jericho Turnpike, Suite 205. Our phone number is 631-486-4834, 631-486-4834. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you for joining us again tonight. All right. I do not see any questions in the chat. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I'll see you again next week when we'll be talking about something else again. But still, I guess that's going to be the last series on why can't I lose weight. I hope to see you. Please like, again, share, subscribe. It will help us get this message out to as many people as possible that need it. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.